Over the past few years, we have seen the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund invest in soccer, Formula One, the WWE, golf, and much more, and I feel like college football could be next. Let me explain. A few weeks ago, David Ubben from The Athletic wrote a very thought-provoking piece titled, "Could Saudi Arabia's PIF enter college football?" I asked ADs for their thoughts. This piece made the rounds on multiple college football talk shows with everyone sharing their own opinion on the subject. I thought I would leave the article there, yet the topic and thought of this idea stuck with me. At first, I felt like it was crazy, but as I thought about it more and more, the reality of the situation seemed more and more realistic. The Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund has taken over soccer, or football depending on where you live in the world, with the investment fund taking control of 4 of the country's biggest soccer clubs and offering astronomical deals to players like Cristiano Ronaldo. Since Ronaldo has joined, attendance is up 143%, with expectations for it to grow even more. They have a massive deal with the WWE, and were even rumored to attempting to purchase the WWE from Vince McMahon, and have an extended contract with F1 to host the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix for years to come. The Saudi Arabian Investment Fund also owns part of Newcastle United, who became the richest team in soccer overnight, and their Live Golf League just merged with the PGA Tour. They also have plans to get involved in the gaming sphere, purchasing ESL Gaming. They also hope to host a World Cup and Olympics in the near future. Since 2021, Saudi Arabia has invested $7.2 billion in sports, and that may be an underestimate. So what does that mean for college football? What if the Saudis want to become boosters for college football to build up a program using their investment fund? It would probably be far cheaper than their previous acquisitions and could have greater influence on the world sphere. Ubben writes, "To me, it seems like an uncomfortable, unprincipled next step for both the PIF and college football, but unfortunately an obvious next step for both too." He goes on to say athletic directors live in a world of athletic funding. Hiring coaches earn them plaudits from fans, but fundraising and balanced budgets are the biggest part of their job, so they seem like the best option to answer the question. One athletic director pondered the question after being caught off guard by this question, and he went on to explain, "I'd say close to 50% of the schools and athletic department leaders would navigate their way to say yes. If you had asked me before Live PGA Tour coming together, I would have said less than 10%. Because even the most aggressive and thoughtful athletic directors, everyone is afraid to go first when it comes to the PIF and their involvement in American sports. And the PGA Tour just went first." Another athletic director went on to say, in some ways we know how to rationalize and twist to find a reason why something is okay because we want it to be okay. While a third athletic director believes it will never happen. So why college football and not the NFL? Well, the NFL prohibits foreign ownership of its teams, while college football's lack of ownership and new NIL deals make things far easier and far foggier, if that makes sense. An 8-figure investment would make anybody the biggest booster at a program for most universities. When you are the biggest booster, it usually means you have the most sway when it comes to hiring athletic directors, coaches, etc., and may even include the players you recruit. Athletic Director 1 told Ubben, "If an alum provides $10 million a year to an alma mater, they have a strong influence on every aspect that the university does, especially athletics. If they provide $10 million over an amount of time, you have a seat at the table for coaching decisions, athletic director decisions, facility decisions, deputy athletic director decisions, scheduling decisions. While you can't buy an athletic department per se, you could really influence one when you cash a major check." Ubben writes, "The PIF has reportedly shown interest in other U.S. professional leagues without mention of college athletics. Qatar's sovereign wealth fund just last week bought into the ownership of Washington's NBA, NHL, and WNBA teams. Over the past few years, we have learned that money talks when it comes to college recruitment of young high school players, especially when said players don't come from a lot of money originally and know their value in the long run. Due to collectives, NIL has slowly turned into pay for play, which no one ever wanted when the NCAA lazily passed this law. The PIF would bring value to a program like Phil Knight with Nike at Oregon and T. Boone Pickens at Oklahoma State." Athletic Director 1 told Ubben, "$100 million is a rounding error to the PIF. If you invest $20 million into collective to help an institution buy or retain talent in football, that's nothing to them. It's inevitable that this happens. I'm going way above 50%, especially if you expand the timeline out over 5 to 10 years from now. There's a very good chance a university will be faced with this, and maybe some will be proactive. If the PIF is interested at all, it takes for a desperate athletic director who may be close to losing their job to let this happen, or one that envisions bringing their group of 5 program to the Power 5 level. People can rationalize anything they want to rationalize, and when it comes to the program, when it starts winning at a high level, the fans and alumni may come back around. I mean, just look at how we view sports gambling now as fans and sports leagues compared to 5 to 10 years ago. So how do we avoid something like this from happening? I think we need to look past the players, coaches, and athletic directors and look at the NCAA governing body as a whole. This topic would not be up for discussion had the NCAA not been lazy when they decided to pass their NIL legislation after sitting on their hands for over a decade. The NCAA wanted NIL to fail because they wanted to say, hey, we told you so. This is not a college football issue or a player being greedy issue. This is a leadership issue at the top, and if this were to occur, we could only blame the NCAA leadership. So this is my call to action for the NCAA. Get your ducks in a row and resolve the NIL issue by putting in guidelines that actually help not just the athletes but the sport in general. Rather than sitting at your desk and counting your Scrooge McDuck levels of money, waiting for the US government to force your hand again, be proactive, not reactive, because if something like this does occur, the sport will never be the same. Fans can go blame the ADs, coaches, and players for allowing this to occur, but in reality, the only people to blame will be NCAA leadership, the people that say the athletes and sport comes first. I call BS on that because the most important thing to them is keeping their nonprofit status while making an absurd amount of money. Let's as sports fans go deeper than the surface level idea of issues and hold the people accountable for those who control the legislation and future of the sport. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more college football content. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.